might wonder what I'm doing out here. Well, we're going to have a fun day today. Alfred Mazza Sr. is celebrating his 95th birthday. He's got almost 100 people here out at Al Jr.'s house for a party today. So we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to get the 6 siblings on camera for a minute just to make a comment or a commentary on the video I did with Dad. All right, let's have some fun. I'm here with Will today. Will is the eldest of Al's children. And I wanted to ask Will a real quick question. You saw the interview I did with Al, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We had a lot of good stories.
Oh, yeah.
The part that I love the most, because I know a little bit about the backstory, is when Al had the 2 houses, he left the 3 boys behind.
Oh, my God.
He left 3 of you, Michael, and Al, teenagers. Were you starting college, maybe?
Yes.
He left you guys alone in the house.
Yes,
And I asked Al, I go,
yeah.
Were there a lot of shenanigans? What was going on? And he played dumb. He wanted nothing to do with it. So tell us what really happened.
Well, here's the interesting part. I have to say, on the one side, it was such a good thing because when we were kids, we used to fight like cats and dogs, all the sibling rivalry and all that other stuff. But when it got to this point, okay, we were all closer in age, even though it was the same, but it was closer. And we had a ball.
Because you had more room to spread out. In the first house, you guys were on top of each other.
It wasn't
right?
just that. It was that we were all having fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me just say, there are so many stories of that time. You know, I can remember them coming over one time.
Your parents coming over?
Yes, and we had a group in the backyard.
Okay.
Okay, and I heard something.
So it was unannounced.
So I came out.
It was an unannounced visit.
I came something, and I came out, and hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I can't believe you guys are here. Oh, we got people in the back. And as we're going back there, okay, everybody heard. So everything goes under the table.
Okay.
Anything that was drunk or whatever, everything's out of sight. And everybody's like, oh, hi. You know, everybody's like, it was really good. But that was kind of like the theme of the house during that little period of time.
But they knew better. You think they didn't know?
No, I don't think they knew.
Oh my God.
I don't think they knew the full ramification of what was going on. But there was a party side, okay, but it drew the brothers closer together. All of us who were left in that house at that time, you know, while it was being looked at, sold and stuff like that, and it was someplace else, we got very tight. Yeah. You know, and friends and stuff like that. And it makes it what it is today.
Did you guys have house chores? Or did you just...
Oh, boy.
Did anybody clean the bathroom? Anybody go shopping?
We must have. You know, it's hard to remember back then as far as who did what. Yeah. But somehow it happened. Okay. Somehow it ran on. Right. Somehow food got there. Stuff got cooked.
So you grew up a little bit together.
Yeah.
We all maturity.
Yes, we all did.
All right, cool. That's cool. I wanted to have you shed some light on the story that Al just quickly didn't.
Well, I don't think he fully knew. I could be wrong. I don't think he fully knew.
Do you have any other comments or stories you want to throw in that I didn't touch on, or maybe something I brought up that you would like to just put your perspective on from either of the 2 videos?
I'll tell you the touching part, you know, about my father, and I think some of it did come out in those interviews, is the care towards others.
That's right.
Okay, and not just his children, but I mean, after them, he was thinking of someone who's important to me and how relevant that video was to that person.
Yeah.
To help them getting through this part in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, make sure you show Chris, I'll say the name, make sure you show Chris this video because it will help him understand what he's going through now. Cool. We're trying to raise a family.
That's cool. I'm enjoying his excitement in it.
Yeah.
He really is excited about it.
Well, I do want to set the record straight about one thing.
Go ahead.
Even though I was the only girl with 5 brothers, I really didn't have my own bedroom. Whoever was the baby was in the room with me in the crib.
All right.
Okay, so just like I said,
because I made an assumption.
Yes, set that record straight. Okay. I wasn't, you know, I didn't.
And I'm going through this with all the siblings today. I'm pulling them out of this party. We're going to just get a little quick minute or 2, get a little comment. And I want to go to child number 2, Kathleen. Kathleen, you missed out. You weren't in that little animal house thing going on.
No.
So where were you? Tell me a little bit of story with you and any comments you had about
what happened with me is after graduating high school, that was in the late 70s. No, actually it was in the mid 70s. I went away to college. I was upstate in Orange County, New York.
Stay here with me.
Okay. I went away to school.
Right.
And after graduation, I didn't go back home.
Okay.
Probably much to my mother's dismay.
Right.
and I stayed in the area
So
and worked.
were you aware there was this Animal House zoo thing going on, or were you kind of oblivious to it?
Partially.
You made assumptions, but you didn't want to know.
Yeah.
Right. What if I don't see it? I don't know anything about it.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little story that you might have about growing up in the Klan and with your dad and
Growing
education.
up in the Klan and
Talk about school.
What was obvious to all of us was the importance of education to my father. And, he was always proud of the fact that he went to school, to college, higher education, that we all went off to school. And, it's just, that was something he instilled in us.
Well, and it's funny because my grandfather too never really finished high school, right? Back in the day that people went to work sometimes to help the family out. And they became self-educated and they became very intelligent that way. Your father, when we first started the video out, we were going down that path of it. He really didn't seek the education piece. It came later. And he corrected me, as everybody knows, on video about it.
Yeah.
Were you then, so when he graduated school the second time, he was in his 50s, wasn't he?
I guess he would have been. I know I was in my own college at that point in time, and remember coming home at times and attending night school with
So
him.
you were going to school together at the same time?
Pretty much,
But
yeah.
not in the same place?
No. He was going to school on Long Island, and I was upstate. I don't recall who graduated first.
All right.
But,
was it common?
He was probably more proud of me than he was of himself, because
sure.
that's just the kind of guy he is.
Was it common conversation, you guys sharing notes, when you were going to school at the same time?
You know what? It probably always has been, and it doesn't matter if it's engaging with us about a class that we're taking or a job that we're doing.
Yeah.
He's always very interested
Involved.
in what we're doing.
And it's always been that way.
Always.
And it still is. And your mom was the same. It's and that's why we're all here. That's why I'm part of your family, because they're very engaged with other people and interested in other people.
Yes,
All right.
and prefer to have it more about the other people than themselves. I mean, I laughed today, and maybe you can capture a picture of it, but we're here to celebrate my father's 95th birthday.
He's good.
And front and center
His
is
mom.
a big picture of
I
my
know.
mother, and that's just
I know.
the way
Awesome.
he is. Yeah.
Kathleen, thank you for giving us a
Thank
few
you.
minutes today. You're off the hook.
Yeah.
So we're back. We have sibling number 3 here. This is Michael. Michael, you were one of the 3 knuckleheads left alone in this house.
Yes.
At the ripe age of teenager, graduating high school on the way to college, right?
Probably about 18, 19, 20 when that went on. I think it went on for a good summer.
Now, Mike, everybody here that's an adult knows you as a very quiet, self-kept guy.
That's what.
But in your youth, you might have been a little bit more gregarious, a little bit more out there, right? A little more party.
I had fun. We had a good time that particular summer. I think I kind of call those the forgotten years. It's part of the forgotten years. It was just a little too much.
Were there a lot of parties there in the house?
There was probably a party every night in that house.
And
we ruined a vinyl collection, I think, that summer. I mean, it was just absurd.
Who was in charge? Did it feel like anyone was in charge at any point in time?
No one was in charge.
Did anybody have chores? Did anybody clean the house, clean the bathroom, vacuum?
Somebody must have.
Did you?
I don't want to say it was the girlfriends. I don't know if they were doing that at the time.
So the girlfriends were visiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I want to know. So did Mom come around to inspect the premises? Did she show up in the morning to see who was sleeping in or going to church?
I don't think so.
So
I think we went over there to let her know that we were still alive and breathing.
And you showed up at church to keep that under
Well,
control?
we probably didn't. So we were working weekends, and that was just another continuation.
I'm just getting this real strong sense that your parents just knew better, just to stay away, don't look, and don't lift the covers to figure out what's going on.
I think they did. I think they knew that there was a certain level of responsibility and of code of conduct that we probably adhered to at a minimum.
Right.
And they didn't need to worry about us getting into
the rails weren't totally off, in other words.
No, it wasn't that the police were at the house every night. It wasn't anything like that. I don't think the neighbors were calling.
What about
to
the neighbors?
complain to
Did it
them.
blow you in? Nothing like that? No? Okay. All right.
No,
You guys
no.
kept the garbage cans
We
moving and all
kept
that?
everything moving.
All right.
I could remember it was the first time I heard him curse.
So we're back. We got sibling number 4, Alfred, my brother from another.
Sibling number 1.
Okay, sibling number 1 depends. Now, if you ask Mom,
I'm
she would
Raymond.
she would tell you number 1.
Yeah, I'm
but she
Raymond.
also did that for all the other
Yeah,
siblings,
yeah,
so I know how it goes. All right, so I want to really, because I really enjoy this moment that your parents left you three in the house alone at this ripe age of, you know.
I was 18. Yeah.
Yeah, you're 18 and you were the youngest.
Starting out my college career.
Right, okay.
Yes.
So, and
I was a big hit on campus. I had my own house.
And so for Will, you didn't get too far there. Michael, those are the forgotten years.
Okay.
So, what can you remember about the party scene in this house? Was it a hoo-ha?
Yeah, I mean, the parties were definitely good. I remember one time after one particular party, my dad calling the next day, and he said, I'm going to come by because we have a realtor coming by and I wanted to see you. I haven't been at the house in 2 weeks.
Oh, shit.
And I just want to see what it looks like. And they came over and I think their feet were stuck to the linoleum kitchen floor from all the beer mess there.
And did he say anything to you or did you just get the look?
I know, I think we just all grinned and knew, but we also knew that we had to
Clean it up.
get it cleaned up. But that was one of my favorite parties because it was the first time I had gotten a keg with a tap and there was a coil. And you iced the coil.
Oh, yeah.
And that was some ice cold. That's what I remember from that.
Ice coldest beer you ever had.
But yeah, you know, another story there would be Kathy, my bride, was away at college then, and she lived in Brentwood as well. So she'd come home for a weekend, and she'd be staying at my house. Sorry, Kath. And you know, we couldn't let anybody else know that she was in town, so we had to be careful where we couldn't run. She couldn't run into her friends of her parents and say, "Oh, we saw Kathy," you know. So yeah, a lot of.
So the reason that we could talk about that now is because all the principals that would be concerned are no longer with us.
Yeah. Or they've, yes, the principals are no longer with us.
No longer with us,
unfortunately.
Right.
But also, yeah, we've also, as we aged, we certainly talked about those stories.
So. Let me ask you this. You enjoyed both of the interviews I did with Dad. You've known the stories. He's been talking about it a lot lately as he's sitting and having a little more time. Stuff's coming to the top. He's bringing up a lot of stuff that he hasn't really talked about in a while. Was there anything that we talked about that you would like to comment on from the interviews that you thought that we could have gone a little further or would have liked to throw some? Or do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't know. We're going to have to wait for interview number 3.
This is it.
Oh, this is it. This is it. Charlie's had enough.
Charlie's done. Yeah.
No, I think for the most part, I think a lot of stories were done. I mean, there's stories within the stories. He talked about the camping stories.
Yeah.
You know, for me personally, I could remember it was the first time I heard him curse.
Okay.
I was probably 13 or 14,
Whoa.
but we were transporting stuff on the ferries over to Fire Island to camp.
Yeah.
And we're all novices.
Right.
And my dad was picking some stuff up to transport. And there might have been sand or something on the pole, but anything. So anyway, the next thing you knew, there was sprinkling going on in the water, and he didn't know what it was. He was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, you know, like I lost some. But we surmised it was just sand.
Right. We're back. We got Stephen with us. We're down to sibling number 5 now. Stephen's
Hey, Dad.
a lot younger. Stephen, you were not even around really paying attention when the boys were in the house partying and all that, but
No. I was in church most of the time. I was an altar boy. While they were doing that, I was at your religious school and all that kind of stuff.
and I want just for our audience,
why I'm
viewing
saying
audience today, I just want to say we're politically correct with the Bud Light this year. With all the LGBT stuff that's going on.
of
So
course.
so anyway, give me one of the good stories that you have growing up. It could be about camping or something. What's one of the childhood memories you have in the family or with your dad, or you know?
Well, I'm struggling coming up with one, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
To be honest,
That's
but
fine.
I just what I wanted to say to my dad. I'm sure he's going to watch this and everything, and to my siblings, who I think are going to watch this also.
Look with me. Forget him.
Is I just wanted to. The one thing that I want to say thanks to my dad for is basically giving me all the siblings that I have in my life.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they haven't just been siblings to me.
That's
They've
right.
been friends. They've
That's
been
right.
Friends. My sister was a second mother to me.
Oh, I didn't know
for
that.
a period of time and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
that's just a natural kind of. So that's really, again, I don't have much to say, Dad. I'm sorry, but I just really want to say, thank you for that, and thank you to all my siblings.
And that's great. And I'm going to comment on that because the truth is, if you listen to your father's perspective, his whole life is a total accident.
Yeah.
A door opened and he went the other way. He just happened to trip over here and it led to this and it led to that. According to him, his entire life's an accident. According to him, he was a bland guy without your mom around. So according to him, he had no bearing on your life, but we know it's very different than that.
Very different.
It was very different than that. And, the piece that you're trying to capture about your dad and your siblings is It's very natural. I make fun of you guys all the time. I tell Al, the Mazzas are a freak family. There's no dysfunctionality. It's kind of a weird thing. But you are all friends. You're not just siblings. Like, we all have siblings. We're all friends with our siblings to a point.
No. Yeah.
You guys are friends. You hang out.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that you get concerned about is, you know, do you continue to get together after mom and dad? You know, mom's gone now.
Sure.
Do you continue to get together after mom and dad? Does the relationship change?
Yeah.
And I strongly believe that the relationship mom and dad have built for the 6 of us
That's right.
to have the relationship we have today, it's the
foundation.
It's just going to continue.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. They've been unbelievable to my kids. I'm talking about obviously my mom and dad, but also my siblings, my brothers and my sister. Yeah. They've been unbelievable to my kids. My kids have had issues. They've always been there for them. Yeah. Now I've got a grandchild, and they.
You know, we talked about in the video.
1,000. They're unbelievable.
Your parents were always out physically. They were always with people. And to this day, whether it's cold out, we're up at Woodlock at nighttime at 10:30, having a couple drinks in front of the fire. Your father's there, we'll bundle up with a blanket.
He never
Or
quit.
if we're in the summer, under a tent with a hat. But your parents were always there. They made this culture of being engaged with people. And again, especially with your mom, it was always about what's going on with you, interested in you. And there's this legacy, this culture in your family.
No, she was never that interested in me.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
In your friends, though. In your friends.
Absolutely.
That's how come I'm here.
Right.
That's how come I'm here. All right, you're off the hook. Back to the party for you.
Thank you very
Go
much.
enjoy your Bud
And
Light.
once again, Dad, I thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
All right, cheers. Thank you. And we're back with James, the youngest, the baby in the group. You know, I say that the youngest and the baby in the group, but you're getting older and you're right there behind the rest of us.
I'm only 42.
All right. So the very different perspective for you growing up than for Will, Kathleen, and Michael, certainly, right? You're the baby in the house.
Yes.
So at some point, you're at what age when the house is empty and you're it? How old? You like
When the
16?
house is, you mean when they've all moved
When
out, or when
everybody's
they're in
out.
Brentwood?
No, when everybody moved out and you're finally the only one in the house, were you like, what, 15?
I was older than that. By the time Stephen was out, I was probably at least in 20,
Okay.
20s.
All right.
I can't give you these exact numbers like my dad did because I'm not as clear.
No,
in the
he
head
was
as
writing
is.
notes, though. He was writing notes.
Okay.
Were there any family trips that you remember in particular that were funny?
There were
Or things
loads of family trips. I
Dysfunctional. Some smell from the back of the car. I know there was one trip you guys went on, it rained the whole damn time. You know,
Right.
we talked about.
I mean, I just have memories of being young and going on a trip to Fire Island and being on a ferry and getting off the ferry, and it was all rainy. And all I remember seeing were like stacks and stacks of eggs.
Yeah.
You know, that they had all this food. I'm like, who is going to eat all this food?
Right.
And it was for all the families in general. Just
Right. How old were you when the boys were living alone in the other house in Brentwood?
I was in high school then, so probably around 15,
Did you have
16.
any sense of the
17.
shenanigans going on there? Did you ever
Oh,
drop
yeah.
in to hang out?
No, I had popped in there a couple of times. Well, not so much to hang out. I don't think I was allowed to hang out, but there was a lot of crazy things going on.
And were they treating you like the youngest? Like, James, go get us some stuff from the store, get out of here?
No,
Like
they
that?
didn't. No, it wasn't
Okay.
like that. I think I held my own there.
All right. Any commentary on any of the conversation, any of the stories Dad and I talked about in the videos? Was there anything you saw that you thought was kind of funny or you want to add to? You know, the naked girl story. He's not telling the whole story. That girl was
There had
naked.
to have been something else.
We know
going
she was
on
more naked. He's blocking it out in his
He
head.
keeps talking about how he wasn't around a lot of ladies too often
Yeah.
back then. So
Yeah.
who knows?
All right. Well, and James, you know, you and Dad live together now. You're roommates,
Yes,
which is
yes.
awesome. It's great for
Yeah,
both
no,
of you.
he's something else. I'm impressed that he's up. He's on the Sudoku. He has his breakfast. He's on the computer with his stocks. Then he'll go out. Oh, before he walks, he'll do the heating pad on the back. He'll prime it all up, and
Right.
then he'll go out and walk a little bit.
Yeah, no, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
I said it on camera. He's the real deal.
Come back in, take a little nap, eat, relax.
Happy hour 3-4
Yes,
in the afternoon.
of course.
All right.
Of course, there's
All right.
always a different drink
Well,
going
I'm gonna
on.
let you off the hook and get back to the party. Thanks very much, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.